We're on the way to Plazmaman in Sydney, who today will be machining up some billet bits and pieces for our Carnage MX5.7 project. They're putting together a fully CNC machined billet intake manifold for our LS1 engine, as well as a custom engraved set of rocker covers. So we're going to check in with them and watch as they do a bit of CNC machining and hopefully learn a bit about that process. So should be a bunch of fun. Check it out. G'day Shannon.
G'day mate, how you doing?
Good mate, how's yourself?
Excellent.
I hear you guys are machining up some gear for our MX5 today.
Yeah, we sure are. If you want to come through, I'll introduce you to Matt and we'll show you how it's done.
Unreal.
Matty. You alright? Matty, this is Andrew.
G'day mate, how are you?
G'day, good, how are you?
Good mate, yeah. What are you up to today?
We're actually machining the LS1 manifold that's going to go on the twin turbo MX5 project.
Awesome, let's do it.
So as you can see, we just put a fresh chunk of billet on there, about 45 kilos.
Yep.
And we're going to turn that into the first side of an LS1 billet manifold in about 3 hours.
3 hours, wow.
So press the green button and see how we go.
So for something like the base of the plenum that we're machining now, you mentioned that's a 40 kilo block of alloy to start with. What does it weigh by the time you finish? Like how much material do you cut out?
We'll probably cut about 90% of it out. So I've got one here. So that's actually the finished product. We sort of calculated with the lid and the runners and everything, there's probably about 100 kilos of material there to start with, and then when it's finished it weighs about 12 kilos, the manifold. So yeah, it's probably nearly 90% of it gets turned back into swarf. Making it out of one piece, that's what you got to do.
And what grade of aluminium do you start with?
This is all 6061
yep.
T6 tempered.
Yep.
So it's all aircraft grade aluminium. It's virtually the best you can get, apart from being like a 7000 series, which would be probably an overkill for these manifolds.
Can you show us a bit about the design and the tool path?
Yeah, sure. If you come over to the computer.
Yep.
We'll start off with a raw 3D model. Lots and lots of hours have gone into getting it just into that 3D model. We'll then go ahead and probably make a couple of 2D templates, try it on the cylinder head, make sure everything lines up, make sure our sizes are correct. And then we've got a designer guy that works with us, and he turns that into a 3D model, which then I'll take that model, create my tool paths from that. So all the blue there you can see is the tool pass, that's where the cutter's going to cut, and that it looks a bit like a jungle in there at the moment, but I can sort of see what's going on there. Basically, yeah, we'll make a prototype one, which most of the time is right because we spend a good amount of time doing the R&D on sizes and things like that, so most of the time it will come out correct, and then if there's any little tweaks we've got to make, we can make it on the next one.
Obviously that's the V or the base of the manifold. How many components in total?
So we've got the V of the manifold there. We've got a bank of runners on each side, and we have a lid that goes on. So it's 4 main components, and there's a couple of fuel rails involved. We have an adapter plate that goes on the front to suit what style throttle body you're running. I guess you could say there's probably 7 parts all up, but with 4 main components to the manifold.
Have you got some other components, some runners and a lid and stuff that we can take a look at?
Yeah, sure. I've got runners and lids running on other machines, so
awesome.
We can go and have a look. All right, in this machine we've actually got the first side of a lid going on in there. It's a bit full of chips and cooling at the moment, but I can sort of show you. So you can see in there that's sort of all roughed out on the inside of the lid, and I've got a ball nose cutter there doing the finishing. You can actually see it's about halfway along the finished cut there, so you can see where the roughing is and where the finishing is happening.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's virtually the finished product there. So that's a bank of 4 runners, and that'll bolt directly to the side of the plenum.
And we're engraving a set of rocker covers for the MX5 too today, I hear.
Yeah, we are. Got the program ready to go, so we'll get that set up and get cracking.
Awesome, let's hook in.
Sounds good.
So this is the file for our rocker covers.
Yeah, as you can see, I've got the 3D model there of the rocker covers that what we make just in production when they're just plain with no engraving. And as you can see, I've got the Carnage logo there that Scotty sent to us on the email. I just turned it into some lines and arcs rather than a drawing file. Then I just use that to create a toolpath, and we can engrave from there. So we've got the rocker cover on the jig and the program loaded in. Here we go. There she is.
Unreal. Well, we've got a whole bunch of really sharp looking billet aluminium car pawn together for the MX5 today here at Plazmaman. Matt, thanks heaps for showing us the ropes.
No worries.
Really appreciate it. We'll get these in the mail down to Scotty and get them bolted up to the MX5.